first day for kindergarten up to grade 8, surnames A to F, and also first day for grade 9 cohort B. A lot of specifics here. You're going to find that on our website. Durham District School Board families with the last names H to M with their first day, and at the Catholic Board as well. It's orientation day for 1/4 of each class. Meanwhile, we're going to take you to a live look in Halton Region. This is St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Secondary. It also happens to be my alma mater. Okay, so the Halton Catholic District School Board, this is the first day for class at for secondary students. For a full list of all the school openings, again, you can go to our website, citynews.ca. And if you are heading back to school today, again, we want to see all of your pictures. You can send us a tweet at BT Toronto, feedback at breakfasttelevision.ca. You can email those in as well. Well, children's health and safety are top of mind as schools begin reopening, and a new Abacus poll suggests that Canadians' anxiety about our kids' future is at an all-time high because of COVID-19. 92% of respondents believe children should be a priority as the Canadian government develops its COVID recovery plan, while 70% feel the pandemic will have long-term effects on children. This poll comes as UNICEF reporting a rise in suicide among adolescent Canadians. So how do we best prepare for our kids' futures? I'm going to be speaking with the president of Children's Healthcare Canada for more on this poll, and that's coming up at 7:30. So here's a number for you. 375 new COVID cases over the past couple of days. And now the Ford government says it's hitting the pause button on even considering loosening restrictions.
I can't emphasize it enough that we can't have these big parties. We can't have the big weddings. Come on, guys, we have gone through everything together as a team. And you can't let your guard down now.
Concern is obviously growing as the number of COVID cases continues to be alarmingly high, and the Premier blasting people who have been holding large gatherings. You might remember this one earlier on in the summer in Brampton. Doug Ford says he is particularly concerned about the high number of cases in Peel and Toronto. An infectious control expert says as we move indoors in the coming weeks, conditions are ideal for COVID to spread.
We know there's going to be a second wave. We know that as weather gets colder, COVID will have ideal conditions and we're going to see an increase. We need to start decreasing bubbles. We need to start decreasing the amount of social interactions we have because COVID is not waiting and COVID is not sitting on the sidelines.
Meanwhile, the mayors of Montreal, Laval, and 3 other senior Quebec ministers are in isolation after coming into contact with the mayor of Longueuil, who has tested positive for COVID. One of those ministers was canceling his trip to Toronto for the Ontario Quebec Summit, which is now. But Quebec Premier François Legault did make it here for the 2-day summit with Premier Ford.
We have a strong relationship. Together, we represent 60% of the population, the economy. Yeah. So it's important that we work together. And when we win together, it's all Canada winning together.
Smart individual.
The provincial leaders and their top cabinet ministers are going to discuss the best way to get their economies going again and how to ensure their healthcare systems are prepared for a second wave. Both premiers vowed to make sure Canada is more self-sufficient, especially when it comes to medical supplies. The 2-day meeting wraps up in Mississauga today. The premiers are expected to hold a joint press conference. You can stay with City News for that one. And as the premier calls for a crackdown on large gatherings, he's now facing some criticism of his own after photos surfaced of him attending a wedding in August. Now, the premier spotted at MPP Stan Cho's wedding. No masks in this picture, at least. Education Minister Stephen Lecce also posted photos that suggest the wedding took place on the August 22nd weekend. Under the province's Stage 3 reopening guidelines, indoor gatherings of up to 50 people and outdoor gatherings of up to 100 people are allowed, with physical distancing supposed to be maintained. All right, it has been a hot topic in the wake of protests against racial injustice. Should statues of historical figures who pushed racist policies be toppled? A new Leger poll suggesting that Canadians are divided on this issue. So this toppling of the Sir John A. Macdonald statue in Montreal, which we'll show you in a moment, one of the more recent examples Half of the 1,500 Canadians polled said they oppose the idea of removing these types of statues, while 31% said they support such moves. Yet 75% of respondents were against the Montreal-style spontaneous tearing down of statues by activists, and only 11% were in favor. This poll has no margin of error. All right, we've got a lot to cover here on BT this morning, including a look at how the return to class is impacting parents at work. At 6:30, what dads, moms, and caregivers should know about their rights in the workplace as they help their kids navigate